What it do? It's your boy Illuminated D, and today we're back with another one. I know everybody is always saying that we're only choosing one-sided topics, so today I got a topic for everybody where Kevin Samuels was basically talking to a male, right? And he was pretty much going in on the basic fact of this man who is living with his father, and he was basically putting it all out there and just telling him that he needs to get his life in order. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into this, and then after we're going to go right into the topic and speak about it. All right?
Brandon,
Hello.
you called the other day on my business show, right?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
me.
Are you calling about the topic?
Yeah, it's about the intercultural or
Are you
interracial
dating?
relationship. No, not right now.
Aren't you the guy that was living with your father?
Yeah, it's me.
Have you ever had a relationship?
Yeah, I've been in a relationship, but I had a specific question to you.
Go ahead.
Well, one guy I used to watch on YouTube, and also on BitChute, was very strong in his beliefs that the races like black and white should not date, because he felt like there was.
What's the question?
Well, do you think that black men and white women should be able to
What do you think?
marry
About this? What do you think?
Well, I think that it's, if there's the love, then yes, but I'm realizing there's a large cultural.
Okay. And the reason I asked the question that way, then why does it matter what I think or why the guy on BitChute thinks?
Well, I think that you want to discuss taboo topics.
No. I asked you. I don't want to see. You're a guy that's trying to find answers, and you need to find answers for yourself. You spend a lot of time on. Hold on. Listen to me. I know who you are. You've called into my show on other days outside that. You spend a lot of time on YouTube.
Yeah.
You need to go spend time. And I told you, you live at home with your father, and you're the guy who's working the unskilled jobs, menial labor.
Yeah.
Why are you spending so much time online looking for answers for life that you don't have?
Lazy.
Well, I mean, I figure that the more understanding I have, the better I can do.
It's called analysis paralysis. You're mentally masturbating because this is as close. See, life happens outside, Brandon. You're 27 years old. And you shouldn't be living at home with your father. There's no way you should still be trying to get yourself together, working as a librarian, a sandwich artist at Subway, a landscaper, this or that. You're lost. And you spend your time listening to a lot of content versus doing some shit for yourself. Turn off the internet, plug into life. You're too broke to be listening to this much YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you're right. At the same time,
I feel.
Yeah.
Men don't feel. We think and we know. This isn't a debate, man.
Okay. I was just calling to talk about the
right. But what I'm saying is you have no business. Okay. Did you hear what I said? You shouldn't even be calling. You should be focusing on getting your shit together instead of worrying about what some guy on BitChute has to say about interracial dating, then asking me what I think about it when I said, well, what do you think about it? All that should matter is what you think about it. Are you actively dating a white woman right now? Then
no.
Does it matter? Then listen. Then it doesn't matter. You're wasting time on stuff that's not here, and your right now life is not together. You're just wasting time looking for issues, and the biggest issue is you in the mirror.
I mean, I feel like I'm addressing addressing, I spend all day working. So, I mean, what else are you
You
saying
spend all
that I
day. You
even
spend all
should?
day working. You spend all day working. How much did you make today?
Today I made $90. Yesterday I made $100.
$90.
The day before I made
$90. Listen,
$125.
$90. And yesterday you made $100. Okay. So that's $500 a week at best. 5-day week. And you live in New York City or New Jersey?
I actually live with my dad in Long
Right.
Island. My
Okay.
mom
You
lives
live in
New
New
York
York.
City.
New York City. Long Island is one of the boroughs.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. I lived in Manhattan. You live with your
Yeah, I
listen.
mean, mhm.
He made $500 a week. Can you afford an apartment?
At the moment,
That's all that
no, I
matters is at the
can't.
moment, sir.
I mean, okay, so how am I supposed to get from where you're saying is a great ideal to from where I am? Because
Word.
I'm pretty
Listen,
much trying.
listen. First thing you do is you listen. You have no skills at 27 years old. That's a problem that you caused.
Damn.
No one told you to not acquire skills the 10 years since did you drop out of high school?
No,
Now, many of us, when we were young, we didn't understand some of the things Kevin Samuels was talking about because a lot of us didn't grow up with fathers. But this man grew up with a father. So maybe his father had his own personal issues. I don't know. But a lot of the things Kevin Samuels was teaching was a lot of fatherly advice. So anyway, let's go.
All right, so jumping right into that, we can see a crazy situation, right? And if Brandon, if you're listening to this and you hear about this, I want to pitch in because, I think you got some great advice here. As a man, we're faced with many different trials and tribulations. There are no free handouts. There are no, maybe if you have family and then somebody births you into wealth, but if you want to be a traditional man and you want to be somewhere in life, right? We're faced with these different trials and tribulations, and one of the main things is actually seeking and wanting more for self, along with depending upon if you have a family, depending upon if you have a team, depending upon if you have individuals that are surrounding you, and not necessarily meaning that it's your responsibility to manage and take care of your team and your friends, right? But as a man, there's something that is technically in you, right? Or should be within you, even regardless if you have, whatever your role model was, or whatever, or whoever. Usually there's this burning desire. And sometimes, some people don't have this burning desire. Some people don't actually seek to do anything. Some people would prefer their woman to take care of them or their parents to take care of them. But wanting more out of life, wanting to be something, wanting to be successful comes with different trials and tribulations, and that's taking the first step sometimes in leaving the nest. Pops couldn't be here today, and I think he would be a great person to give this dynamic, because when I was 16, right, I was living with my mom. I was doing real bad in school. I was, really messing up. From 9th grade, I pretty much was just in shambles. I was in a situation where I was trying to survive just based off the dynamic of where I lived. And most people would be like, oh, well, you had it good. No, not necessarily, because people don't see the day-to-day. When we start looking at the dynamic of it, yeah, you can have food on your table, you can have everything, but when you go to school And depending upon the environment that you're in, you know, the different trials and tribulations that you're surrounded with can play a huge factor. Your friends can play a huge factor in your demise at times, you know what I'm saying? Or your motivation, or the pouring into individual to push you to be greater. It all just depends on the dynamic and the environment that someone grows up in. But when we start looking at this dynamic, right? At 16, Pops told me, he set me down when I got there because, you know, we were at school orientation and they basically called me out of the blue. I just got there and they said, we can't let you into this school. And they said, how do you have a 0.3 GPA? That's crazy, right? But despite all that, you know, despite what I was faced with, you know, rose to the occasion, graduated with 3.0, had to go to summer school. But that same day, Pops set me down. You know what he told me? He said, in 2 years, you only got a couple options. He didn't give me the option to stay with him. You know what he told me? He said, you got 2 options. He said, it's either going to be military or college. Or you're going back to your mom. Now, by the end of it, of seeing how hard Pops was grinding, the late nights, you know, the overtime, the frustration with the days on the job on top of having to deal with my BS, you know what I'm saying? I was like, look, I gotta go do something. I was surrounded and I seen highly motivated individuals who were getting to it on a daily basis, along with the women in my life, because it wasn't just the men. The women were really going just as hard as the men. And thankfully, you know what I'm saying, bless everybody successful today. But I would say in my journey, seeing that motivation, looking at other individuals, seeing the friend groups that I've chosen to surround myself with, the information that I've specifically let digest into my mental, into my spirit, into my soul, right? And basically it would push me to want to be successful. It would push me to not want the minimum. And I think this was a great dynamic because Kevin Samuels basically said, just how my pops had told me. One day he caught me playing a video game. You know what he said? He said, D, put the video game down and go outside. That was probably the best thing he could have ever taught me. That was the best thing he could have said that day. It was summertime. I was playing video games. I was fat. He said, you need to go outside and you need to get some fresh air. I don't want to see you in the house when I get here on lunch ever again. I was outside every day. I met some amazing individuals. I had already been living where I was living, but the crazy part is when I was like 10, I end up running into my same friends outside that were living in the same neighborhood on the same day that he told me to get outside. And you know what? There's so much motivation outside. There's so much success outside. Aside from the negative things that can be, all you have to do is surround yourself with these positive individuals, these individuals who want to be successful. Let that spark the fire. And if there is nobody around you and all you can do is watch YouTube, then watch motivational individuals who would still pour into you, that would speak positively, that would push you in order to actually want to be successful, which would push you to start seeking things that will make you successful, which would push you to start doing things that would make you successful. All right. I think this is a great dynamic. Success is all around us. Success is an option. Poverty is an option. We can no longer say that my circumstances, my environment is what causes me to be less than. Let's seek to be more than what we have been shown. Let's seek to be more than what we've been told that we could be. I know individuals that have been told that they were dumb, that were told that they couldn't be this, that were told that actively seeked and changed their life. So let's surround ourselves with this positive motivation and become greater than what we already are and where we currently stand. We all want to be successful. We all want to be somewhere in life. But in order to do that, you got to do something that you ain't never done before. And that's the reason that we're doing this right here, right now. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, to his timely demise. But until next time, bless.